Annie, if there is one thing you could go back in your past and change, what would it be?
um, and stuff like that. So I don't know if I really like believe in that, because like everything like adds up to like who you are today. You know, like
Yeah.
there's no such. You can make mistakes, you know, but what matters is that you like learn from them, or
And don't give up.
yeah, don't give up, and or you know, like just keep trying and keep pushing through, and you know, keep trying to change and
Grow.
and grow. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to do. Sing the first song that comes to your head.
Okay. With one more look at you, I can learn to tame the clouds and let the sun shine through. Leave a troubled past so I might start anew. I've solved the mystery. Annie,
Yeah.
what do you consider holiness? Or to be holy? What do you think that means?
I think people have the notion of holiness, like, I think it's really messed up. I think that, you know, just because you go to church every Sunday or maybe every day, or are involved in church and stuff doesn't make you holy. You know, I think that, you know, what's inside, is, you know, makes you who you are. You know, like people say, like having like a personal relationship with Christ or whatever.
How do you show that you're having a personal relationship with Christ?
I think you have to show it, because if you just keep it to yourself, then, you know, what are you, you know, like, how are you helping people? How are you, you know, giving of yourself? How are you giving back to society?
What are some ways you could show Christ to people without preaching Christ?
Just being nice to them, and always lending a helping hand and a lending ear, and I don't know. I mean, just being who you are, you know.
Is that it?
I guess. What was the serpent doing in the Garden of Eden in the first place?
Oh. God created everything, including the serpent. And he has no power over us unless God gives him that power to be able to do what he's got to do. As we call him, the prosecutor. The prosecutor with no mercy.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing there, but he's always lurking around, so doesn't matter if it's a garden or a shed, he's there.
Why do you think it was the woman, you know, why do you think it was Eve he tempted and not Adam?
Well, look at us.
What do
We're
you mean?
stronger
Yeah.
as far as emotionally and all that, but we're also naive and trusting more than men are. So, and Adam was created first. So that's why.
I don't know if I have any more, so are
But
you?
he could have said no.
Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah. He blamed Eve, and she blamed the serpent.
But that's the way it had to go. So now we all know that we're naked when we're naked.
How do you answer people when they say that they don't believe in God?
I talk to them, and I've met many people who don't believe in God or do believe in God, but they don't believe in organized religion because of the so-called church people that they say they go back to church and people are judgmental, and you know, all the fruits that they see from the church are not of Christ. It's of the world. So I just talk to them about that, how we're supposed to be Christ to each other and not judge each other. And if one of us falls, we lend a helping hand. You know, if one of us gets sick, if one of us is downtrodden and needs help, you know, even financially or whatever, if we have the means to do that, then we should as a Christian people, but that's not the way it is anymore. Which that's why a lot of people are losing their faith and they don't believe that there's a God, because what type of God, what God would do this? But it's not God doing it, it's free will. Because we all, you know, you can't make someone be compassionate for somebody else. If someone falls in the street, you could have 10 people and only one person will stop and try to help that person, and the other ones will be snapping their pictures and sending it, you know, putting it on YouTube and all that instead of trying to help the person. That's just where our society is at today. And that's why we need more prayer, and we need more people outside of the church instead of hiding out inside and doing their ministries all throughout the church, you know, preaching to the choir. People need to get out, you know, to the people that are suffering, the poor, people who've lost their jobs, just, you know, sick people, people that truly need help, and they need to see God. And that's how we keep our faith and believe in God, by seeing God work through other people and work miracles through other people, and just the love that can flow through somebody, even from a stranger you can meet on the street and have a beautiful conversation with, and end up, you know, helping them out, or they're helping you out, or whatever. And that's the saddest thing with people. And there's a lot of young kids today that don't believe in God, and they won't pray. You know, I asked this one kid to pray for my friend, and he said no, but I'll hope for the best. You know, but he was more Christ-like to me than the so-called church people. You know, I'd go to the hospital and he'd give me free coffees and talk to me all the time. So he was being more Christ-like to me in my time of need, worrying about my friend, than people from the church. You know, they didn't want to listen to it. They're too busy. So I understand where all these people are coming from. So change has to happen somewhere, because none of us are righteous in the sight of God. It's because of His mercy that we even get to go to heaven. I mean, I don't care if you think you're the holiest, saintliest person, pure, whatever you want to call yourself, you know, holy, never do nothing wrong, I'm not a sinner, whatever. It's because of God's mercy that you'll ever make it to heaven. And that's just the way it is, because none of us are worthy. Annie, after researching all the third orders in the church, what was the reason or reasons that called you to the Franciscans?
I never really heard too much about St. Francis except knowing that he was the patron saint of animals. It started Divine Mercy in 2008, and I was looking up third orders, and I called this lady from the Franciscans, and she told me like where there were Franciscan societies in Kansas, and that's where I started my training. But St. Francis, he wanted an inner conversion. Like, he wanted to be the poor, he wanted to be the lepers, he wanted to be like the scum. And like I said before, like, mental illness is the new leprosy. And I feel that's something that I'm called into. I don't know how or why or whatever, you know, but that's just what I feel like I'm called into. And I don't know, I just like the austerity of his life. Like, when I watched this movie, I was amazed, you know, that he gave up his everything to be everything for the church. And even like St. Clair, like, she was called to the life that the friars were living, like being out and being out and about and stuff like that. But like, because of the times that they were in, and because of like, St. Francis basically told her that, you know, that she should just become like a nun, like a cloistered nun. So that's how they got like the two orders, and they're complementary. Like, you know, you look at the Guy Franciscans and they're all out, and then you look at like the Poor Clares, and then they're like in, you know, like a cloisterhood and not just praying all the time and stuff like that. So
Don't you feel that if Francis and Claire were here today, that they would definitely be put into a mental ward?
yeah, but like, if they were here today, like, you know, they may not be, like, they might have not be doing the stuff that they did before, like being out in the wilderness and stuff like that, because there is no more wilderness. I mean, maybe in like Assisi or something there is, but not here. You know, like, maybe they would be out there doing stuff, but like doing it like in a different way. But I think it'd be a radical way, because that's just how they were, you know. So yeah. Any more questions?
I can't think of any right now.
Okay.
Okay. See ya. We really can. But the key to that is suffering. It's not, I mean, you're not going to just blink and say, I love Jesus, and then ta-da! You know, you have all these gifts and stigmata and all that. It's great suffering every day, 24/7.
Do you think that, like, the suffering here on earth is because, like, we're separated, like, in a way from God? You know, like, this isn't really, like, our home, you know?
Yeah, and I think our souls, it's mainly our souls that, you know, because we're not in heaven, we're not in paradise, so our souls long for that paradise,